What if the heroes of the Bible weren't always the heroes we think they were? What if their most celebrated moments were born not out of virtue, but out of failure, doubt, or even cruelty? This isn't the Bible story you heard in Sunday school. This is the dark, unspoken truth behind the heroes of God's chosen people. They are praised, idolized, immortalized. Names like David, Moses, Samson, and even Abraham echo through history as examples of faith, obedience, and strength. But behind their glowing reputations lies a side of the story that's rarely told, because the truth is disturbing. These men weren't perfect saints. They were flawed, broken, and at times terrifying. In this episode, we lift the veil of reverence and peer into the forgotten shadows of biblical history, because sometimes the heroes were also the villains in their own story. We often paint biblical heroes with a divine brush, as if they were handcrafted without sin or error. But that's not what the scriptures say. The problem is simple. We've romanticized their stories and stripped away their humanity. By doing so, we've lost the deeper message. What if the Bible didn't intend to show perfect people, but instead deeply flawed humans that God still chose to use? Moses, the man who split the sea, was also a murderer. Before he led Israel, he killed an Egyptian in cold blood and buried the body in the sand. Later, his anger would cause him to strike the rock twice, disobeying God and costing him the promised land. David, the shepherd king, the man after God's own heart, but also the man who seduced Bathsheba, got her pregnant, and sent her husband to die in battle to cover it up. A scandal worthy of modern headlines, yet it came from a man whose psalms we quote as sacred. Samson, a judge of Israel chosen before birth, yet driven by lust, revenge, and ego. He killed out of rage. He fell for a woman who betrayed him. And in the end, his final prayer wasn't for justice, but for vengeance. Abraham, the father of nations, but he twice lied about his wife being his sister to save his own life, putting her in danger. And let's not forget, he was ready to sacrifice his own son because a voice told him to. These aren't just imperfections, these are deep moral failures, and yet they were still called chosen. Here's the disturbing truth. God's greatest heroes were also some of his greatest disasters. Their stories aren't tales of perfection, they're case studies in redemption. Proof that grace doesn't wait for you to be worthy. It meets you in your mess. The Bible isn't hiding their flaws. It exposes them on purpose, because maybe the real message is that God doesn't use perfect people. He uses the broken, the unworthy, the fallen, people like us. We've unmasked the saints, revealing the sinners underneath. From murder to deceit, lust to betrayal, the heroes of the Bible were as human as we are. But in that brokenness lies the power of their stories. It's not about their greatness. It's about God's ability to work through their darkness. The next time you read about a biblical hero, look deeper, not to judge but to understand. Because the truth is not just disturbing, it's liberating. If this changed how you see the Bible, hit like and subscribe. Comment below which biblical hero's story shocked you the most. And remember, behind every perfect story is a broken person who chose to be used by something greater.